So I just finished watching The Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix and wanted to give you my thoughts. Let's start back at episode 5, which is titled The Telltale Heart. So this whole miniseries is told in a non-linear fashion, meaning it jumps around in time. We get flashbacks to a night in 1980, and it turns out that is the night that the Usher twins, Roderick and Madeline, meet Verna. Madeline has a very important line in this scene. She says that she is going to figure out how to live forever. The pursuit of immortality is mentioned time and time again throughout the mini-series. If you were a big Poe fan, or if you just had to read one of his short stories in high school, you probably know that the fear of dying is a major theme throughout his entire body of work. It is reflected in the series, Madeline's especially, her pursuit of immortality, the desire to stop the clock. We also get some more scenes in this episode of Frederick's wife, who is named Morel. Now that is from the short story Morella. Morella tells the story of a couple that does not have a good relationship. The husband does not have any affection for his wife. He really wants her gone. So in the series, that's reflected by Frederick's increasingly brutal and obsessive treatment of Morel. The episode is called The Telltale Heart, named of course after probably the most famous short story of them all. And it focuses on Victorine. Now, Victorine Lafourcade is a character from one of Poe's stories, but she is not a character in The Telltale Heart. She is from another story called The Premature Burial. So the most memorable scene from The Telltale Heart, the short story, that is when the speaker has killed an old man and dismembered his body, hidden it, but then he gives himself away to the police because he believes he can still hear the heart beating. Now in here, it turns out Victorine is not imagining anything. She does hear a heart beating. Spoiler alert, we find out in the last few moments, Victorine has killed her partner, Alessandra, but then used her cardiac device to try and keep Alessandra's heart beating. So that bit towards the end where we get this horrible, gruesome image of the deceased Alessandra with the cardiac device implanted in her chest, that is another hint towards this theme of the quest for immortality. Even though Alessandra is clearly deceased, Victorine has tried to keep her going with this device. It's pretty gross. So let's talk about episode 6.